Hello and welcome to the Penno Channel for the match reaction to Brighton 0, Aston Villa 3 in the Premier League. I'm joined as ever with my bro to go through this one. 6 wins in a row. Unai Emery and Aston Villa are marching on, finding form at the right time going into this hectic end of the season, man. Bro, how you doing? How you feeling? You're repping, big up the shirt. The shirt's looking clean as ever. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I just love this little run that we're on right now, man. 6 wins in a row, 4 clean sheets. We're getting the job done, man. And yesterday was like one of my favorite away performances all season. So yeah, I'm gassed.
Yeah, obviously, outside of last season, we do have quite a decent record at the Amex. I remember seeing goals, the Watkins goal before the game yesterday as well. And then we've had a few other memories. We remember the draw, the Grealish goal, and a few other games as well. So our record's not too bad there. I think, shout out Stato again, ABC Stato. There's a record, I think that's the third best ground Emi Martinez has kept the most clean sheets at. Um, So the Amex is usually a good place for us. We don't usually concede there. So yeah, going into this one, how were you feeling, bro? Were you feeling confident? Obviously, big win in the weekend against Preston um, after a long international break. How were you feeling going into this game?
Yeah, I was actually predicting a draw. I thought like it would just be one of them cagey games where like each team gets like one goal and then just see it out. But yeah, I wasn't sure with like the lineup as well because nowadays we've got so much strength and depth. It's impossible to predict a Villa team. Like me and you play fantasy Premier League. We never tell people what Villa assets are nailed because it's so hard to like decide. So, bro, I wasn't sure how we'd set up. When I did see the lineup, I thought, okay, that is interesting because he rested some big hitters in like Asensio. Mings came out the side for Pau Torres to get his first start in a while. So yeah, bro, I was excited by the lineup, but yeah, I didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah, shout out the FPL talk as well because we've got a double work game week already scheduled. The Man City game's been moved now. We're going 33, so any FPL players, we're big on it. As you're saying, bro, I was looking to get Villa assets in my wildcard just to plan for that. Obviously, I've gone played safe and got Konza and Martinez, and
Oh,
I've been picking one Villa attacker. We're looking at it now. I think the last 3 games we bagged 3 goals. I might be missing out on getting more than one Villa attacker. And yeah, it seems like we've got so many at the moment. Even if you think of Asensio and Watkins starting on the bench, they can be considered. But Roger seems like that guy in it who's going to play every game, every minute in those attacking areas. Well, as you said, moving on from the FPL talk, yeah, Tyrone Mings came out for Pau Torres. Apart from that, the back five was the same. And then John McGinn found his way back into the side as well. No Asensio, so 2 changes really. And yeah, what did you think? McGinn come back into the side? I thought Rodgers would potentially play in the 10, McGinn off the right. Were you surprised that he started maintaining his position off the right at all? And also, yeah, JJ getting another start, which is good to see, and also Rashford operating as the number 9 again.
Yeah, I was actually waiting for kickoff just to see like how Emery wanted to operate. But yeah, you're right. That's how we went. We had the standard back four. Cash and Dean were operating really high, so they were on the halfway line almost at times, and their instructions was just to bomb forward. Whenever Kamara gets that ball, you just bomb forward in behind their defense. And yeah, as for the midfield, Kamara and Tillemans were the two. But Kamara, if you'd notice, sometimes would drop deep to like right centre back, and he'd fill in there as well to form the back three. Ramsey and Rodgers tucked in as the wider players, and yeah, McGinn and Rashford as the front two. McGinn pressing with Rashford when we didn't have the ball, and then played in a 10, almost dropping deep as well when we did have the ball. So yeah, that's how Emery wanted to line up. What do you think like the game plan was from how that lineup was set? What did you think Emery wanted from his players?
Um, I think he wanted us to maintain our shape. That was a big one. And then when you see Rashford playing as that 9, you know Rashford likes to move to the left, and you know JJ likes to come inside as well. So they can alternate on that left channel. I think he was looking to create space and attack Brighton down their right hand side. I mean, we saw that in the first half, especially. Hinswood's playing at right back now. I don't consider Hinswood Even though he plays there a lot, I don't consider him as an auxiliary right back. He likes to come inside as well. He's more of a centre midfielder. So with Adingra also playing off the right, it seemed as if that was the area that we were looking to really get some joy from. And I think the first half showed that a lot of the game was developed down our left-hand side. And that was because either Rashford was moving over to that channel and coming away from the 9 position, or JJ was picking it up and trying to come inside with the ball.
Yeah, facts, bro. I agree. And I thought whilst Brighton had their fair share of the ball, Villa were also building up from the back, which was really nice to see. I mean, there was like one passage of play in like the 7th minute where we were happy to just recycle the ball around our back four. Pau Torres, Konza, and Martinez were like almost baiting their press. And then when Martinez got the ball, Martinez is getting really good at knowing when to delay, drawing out their press and finding the gaps to play the pass to our midfielders. And that's what he did, man. He fed it straight to Kamara. And then we broke out their press and we're in. And Kamara can carry the ball. He plays it to Rodgers. Rodgers works it out to that left-hand side that you were talking about. And yeah, Dean had so much space in that first half. Sometimes I thought his decision-making was quite wrong, where he crossed it where he could have maybe passed to Ramsey. Other times it was decent. And he kept on finding lots and lots of gaps, him and Rashford down that left-hand side, like you said. So whilst I think Emery was happy to give Brighton a lot of possession, I think they had more possession in the first half. Like, we were playing football as well at times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were playing some pretty good stuff, I thought, especially centrally.
Just getting back to that, bro. Brighton's obviously in 90 minutes, the last 8 games they are unbeaten. Obviously, the last 2 Forest on penalties. Were you surprised with the line that they put out? Because there's a number of big names that didn't start within the game. Obviously, Gomez made his. I don't know. Is that Gomez? Diego Gomez's actual debut? I don't know if he started or no. He started previously.
Yeah,
But yeah, obviously, sure. Baleba wasn't starting. Gruder comes in, who doesn't usually find himself starting. No, Danny Welbeck starting. João Pedro operating as the 9 as well. Do you think that kind of played into our advantage? It seemed like, okay, even Lewis Dunk this season has found himself out of the side. I know Adam Webster was injured going into this one. But did it surprise you, like names like Yakuba Minta, didn't he unused sub, Welbeck, Baleba, I know Matt O'Reilly's coming back and Wiffer as well. What did you think to the lineup they put out, and did you think that played into our advantage?
Yeah, obviously we don't know like what their numbers are looking like after that extra time penalties game with Forest. There might be certain players like in the red zone or whatever that just couldn't start, or they were advised not to start them. But the biggest shot for me was Baleba. Like, he's one of the best like centre midfielders in the league for me, and for him to be on the bench, like, I was very confident seeing that, especially knowing we like to progress the ball centrally. We'd like the midfield battle with Tielemans and Kamara. We get them on the ball as much as possible. And yeah, with Rodgers sometimes drifting centrally from the right-hand side as well, I thought, yeah, no Baleba's a big plus for us.
Yeah, you look at some of the injuries from their squad as well, and you realise they do have a good squad. There's, Chadi Aglu and a few others. Obviously, Rutter got injured on the weekend as well, and Webster, obviously Veltman. They have some players in that squad for sure. So yeah, moving on to the.
Sorry, bro. I don't think in the history of Brighton versus Villa have 2 teams ever been as stacked as there would have been at that Amex yesterday.
I know.
Think about some of the names in the history. Like, yeah, this was a championship game like 3 years ago, bro. Like, you know what I mean? 4 years ago. Or even facts. No, it was like 2017, wasn't it? 17 years ago, probably, when they went up that we played them. So yeah, that's mad.
Yeah, it's all mad. It's all mad. But moving on to that first half, and as you were saying, obviously Brighton had the majority of the ball, 54% for 46%. But for the first 20-25 minutes, we had the better of the chances. Ezri Konsa had that early chance. Again, Ezri Konsa having a chance. The goal will come at some point very, very soon, I'm sure of it. Obviously, he had big chances against Preston. England, he should have scored, and somehow the Latvian keeper saved it as well. So a goal's coming for Ezri Konsa. I might put it on the weekend, and Ezri Konsa goal against a side who he'd think would be superior in the air due to their centre back. So I'm gonna stick my neck out on an Ezri Konsa goal. And moving on from that, John McGinn had a good header.
Just on that Konsa chance, Verbrugge nearly fucked that chance, because he bounced. He went to carry it, bounced off his head, and if Rashford was just on his toes a bit more, like, you know what I mean, like that could have been 1-0 Villa.
Yeah, we had that bit of play with the John McGinn header.
That's
put wide.
That's the play I was just alluding to. Yeah, like that was from our build-up. That wasn't like just a random cross. That was beautiful.
Yeah, it was a good move. And then another big chance, Marcus Rashford, and How did that make you feel, seeing him, how he played that ball, brought it down from the skies, and the bit of footwork and to get the shot off? I was like, okay, this is what I
It
like
made
to see.
it made me think, when are we getting that Boubacar Kamara contract sorted? Because the pass is a joke from Kamara initially to find Rashford, and this is what we knew would happen going into the game. Transition ball.
Yeah,
We'd have to be clinical on our transitions when Brighton are going to push players forward and leave themselves vulnerable on the break, especially without Baleba to just be there and just be that kind of like destroyer off the ball. On the ball, he's talented, but off the ball, he's more of like winning it back. So, yeah, the ball from Kamara is a joke. And as you say, the touch and something about Rashford when he gets on the ball, it's like Ashley Young from the 07-08 times where there's almost this anticipation that something's going to happen. And you know that he's going to beat the first man. It's about what happens after that. Does he get the shot off? Does he look to pass? So, yeah, man. He's well, it isn't it? He cut inside. He's kind of off balance. It goes wide, but he let them know. Like, he let
yeah.
them know.
That was the warning. That was the warning.
He let them know what was coming in it. So
Yeah,
I like that
yeah.
about Rashford.
As I said, yeah, go on, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, he's the outball. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, he is, and it's becoming more and more apparent as the games go on, especially now operating as the 9, and as we go on to the second half. Other chance, Matty Cash, the half volley, decent effort. Well, apart from that, it was kind of restricted. The XG for both sides was very, very equal. Brighton then started to play themselves more into the game. Had some decent opportunities. Karen Matona being a real threat at times. They had some good build up within that, and their idea was to release Karen Matona on our right hand side. Dingra put one just wide, which was that was extremely close. But yeah, let's get onto it really, bro. The penalty incident. Have you ever seen anything as bad?
Bro, as soon as they split the screen and they said VAR check in, I went to go make a drink. I thought I was going to come back, and because I was so nervous, the penalty's coming. I was like, let me go make a drink. I'll come back and I hear check complete. I was like, what's going on? That's the most blatant, not even being biased for Villa. Like, he's done him. He's megged him. Ramsey's been robbed of like one of the coldest like clips of the season.
Yeah, megged him on the step over.
Yeah, Hinshelwood, who's on a booking, should really get a second yellow as well. Completely changed the game. And the ref said no. This is what I kind of don't get about like people saying like the game's gone soft and stuff. Like, anyone watching the games this season, no, the refs have been letting fouls slide all year. They've been letting normal fouls that are bookings, that are penalties, they've been letting them go. And they've raised the barrier so high. Like, look, yesterday in the Liverpool game, like most fans would say that was an obvious red card for Tarkowski. That challenge was mad. Like, he could have broke his leg. And he's a yellow card. So, yeah, I don't understand. Like, if anyone's like been preening the games properly, the VAR, the refs have been letting loads of tackles go this season. And we kind of got punished by it yesterday because it's the most blatant foul I think I've seen, man.
I thought first Ramsey must have died. He must have not touched him. But then there was this clear contact on his leg. And then I thought, okay, he doesn't even get any touch on the ball. And even if he does, he still brings him down. It's just like the most blatant pen ever. And as you said, bro, Ramsey just, busting a step over, beating his man. It was lovely to watch. And Hinswood probably would have got a second yellow and been off the pitch as well. I think Jack Hinswood made his debut against us when we beat him 6-1. I think if Hinswood's in the Brighton starting lineup against Villa, something's going to go in our favour, because I'm sure they made his debut against us in that 6-1.
I don't know about that, guy. Sometimes I just think, like, is there a quota for like academy players must start for Brighton? Because I don't think he's got anything with the other guys.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to hear Brighton fans' opinion on him, because when he plays against us, he doesn't have the best games. But when I do see him play, he does have his moments. But yeah, I think he would have gone off the pitch for that challenge. And obviously Marcus Rashford, I think I have all confidence in Marcus Rashford scoring penalties. So that was a big opportunity to go 1-0 up. Brighton will say they had a few shouts. The handball, which we'll get onto, from the Ari free kick, which hit the post. What's your thoughts on that? And also the Karen Matona, Matty Cash. Was it that more 50-50 challenge, or did Cash, instigate the contact more, and that could have potentially been a penalty?
Yeah, the Ramsey one I think soft. I don't think that's a handball. It's a great free kick though, from Iari. He had Martinez beaten really, but he hits the post. Speaking of Iari, what wrestling move could this guy get away with yesterday to not get a booking, bro? Like, he was just bro, he had 3 fouls in like the first 15 minutes, no card,
bro.
like proper tackles, like so.
We
That's
aren't get on rest
odd,
guys,
yeah.
isn't it? We ain't get on rest guys, but the Atwell yesterday, yeah, was having a stinker. And someone
Think
posted
about
that video. Do you remember that game at Goodison Park where you can hear the fan going, "Atwell, you're playing in white. You shit, Atwell.
yeah.
Can you?" Yeah.
Oh yeah, is
That
that
was
the referee?
yeah. It was that type of performance. Like
Yeah, but I don't know. What do you
mad.
think of the Ramsey handball? I don't know.
I think it's harsh because the way he comes off the post and his hands in like a natural position for me. I think it's tough. Whereas if when we get onto their disallowed goal, Matoma's arms raised, to bring the ball down. So I think that would have been very very harsh. The Cash Matoma one potentially contentious, but in light of them not giving Jacob Ramsey, you couldn't give a pen for that. Just on the sheer
Yeah.
principle, in it.
The
That
thing
was
about
never
that
going to
Cash
happen.
thing is the part before that. As a Villa fan, you'd be like, "Come on, like you can't let the ball bounce." He watches the ball in the air, he lets it bounce, and I think he's anticipating either there to be an offside or he doesn't recognise Mitoma. He's behind him initially, and Mitoma just gets in, thinks, "You know what, safe, I'll have that ball." And then I think Cash panics a little bit, but I don't think it's enough for a penalty.
No. I've got to say, as always, guys, if you could also subscribe if you're new here as well, and leave your comments in the chat as well if you're watching live. Get to a few comments. Engine 9, thanks for joining, guys. Yes, boys, good evening. Good evening to you, mate. Steve's joined. Thanks, Steve. You guys, yes, boys. Hope you're both good. Great win up the Villa. It was indeed, and I hope you're good as well. Got to discuss that non-penalty. I'm still pissed about it today. It's a joke. It was a joke. Unfortunately, it didn't cost us in the end. We went on to win 3-0, but imagine if it had. That's a big decision. You look back now in the season, you think Morgan Rogers, Elliot Anderson. I know we took the lead anyway, but that was a huge call, and that could be significant at the end of things. Obviously, we got Forest in the weekend, but not giving a penalty for that. And unfortunately, last night was in a similar case where the result didn't go in our favour.
Yeah.
Engine 9 also says, I think Matson would have been better suited last night, potentially, going forward. Yeah, I think you have a point there. And the other comments Engine we'll get onto in regard to the Rashford goal. So yeah, bro, going into half-time, were you happy? All points considered, that's a good side who, as I said, were 8 unbeaten in 90 minutes. Free-flowing goal-scoring team. Unfortunate not to have a penalty to go ahead. And their big chance really was, the shot from the free kick.
Apart from wanting to strangle the referee, I was quite content, bro. I was quite calm, but I just thought I'd like more threat from Villa. I thought we got into good positions, but I don't think the threat was correct from our part. Like if you look at our chances, there were more half chances. There weren't like massive ones. And just cut out the sloppy play, because I thought Kamara was so good yesterday, but even he in the first half, if you remember, got caught out with a pass in the middle where I think Dean recovered for him, and then there was another one where Tillerman's first half he played that wayward pass where Powell comes across and cuts it out. So yeah, just a bit more sharpness. But I think what was the XG? It was like 0.3 for both sides. I think he said that.
It was
so
nothing. Yeah,
there weren't anything for that. I think 0-0 was probably like the right score outside of our penalty shouts. Like in terms of the actual chances in the game, you can't really complain with the 0-0.
Question for you, bro, and I've been thinking about this since we've got our full squad back now. In essence, there's only Ross Barkley missing, Liam Bailey as well. Do you think tactically our game plan is, rather than losing, it's to keep it 0-0, because we know second half of the majority size we're potentially coming up with, we might have the squad to overpower them in the second half. We saw the effects of that against Preston the weekend, again yesterday. Different side second half, and then when the subs came on, it was conclusive in the end. Do you think Unai's now thinking about the side? Okay, if we play Ramsey and Rogers, they can stay compact in that box shape. We'll be better defensively within that. Do you think it's more of a case now as, okay, most teams, we back ourselves second half, we can blitz them, and if we just keep it tight in that first half, especially away from home, we fancy ourselves second half?
I mean, it's a good point. It's good logic and reasoning, because if you look at our last 4 games, I think all of them have been 0-0 at halftime, haven't they? Bruges at home, Brentford away, Preston away, and yesterday. So if you want to back Villa, back a draw and a full time win result, and you'd be laughing
Yeah,
at it. That's how
facts,
it is
facts.
recently. So
Yeah,
yeah, maybe I hadn't really actually considered that. I don't think Emery would ever go out to just like not want to take chances. Like he will be there to like
yeah,
create chances, but that might be in the back of his thinking because in his interviews he's been alluding to how much he loves having a full squad and having the
yeah,
options. Like this is his happy place, being
yeah,
able to like tactically as well. There's certain players that he might feel are better suited to a certain role for how he wants to like manipulate the side or if he wants to break down an opposition. So yeah, I think Emery's very, very content right now. And it wouldn't surprise me, bro, looking to the bench to bring off, what would he call it? Like finishers,
yeah,
right? Like players that come on just to kill off a game, like Asensio
yeah,
yesterday. He's a
yeah,
finisher. He came on to do a job and to end the game. So yeah,
yeah.
I think it's a great point, man. I don't even
Yeah,
consider.
I'm just looking at some of the XG. Obviously, Brighton had 0.374, I think it was first half. Preston had zero point 0.3 something. Um, Even if you look at Bruges, I think if I can get their XG stats from that game first
There, the
half.
Van Aken header that was it really when it first half.
Yeah, so theirs was 0.12. If you go back to Brentford as well, is the game plan restrict the opposition first half and we back ourselves second half to blitz them? Because as I said, Preston XG second half was a joke. Yesterday was really good as well in our favour, and we're just now playing. We're now going to rely on our squad, um, and yeah, blitz team second half, and that's the game plan, just to keep it
Yeah.
tight first
The
half.
thing is that it's interesting though. It will be
Even Brentford, bro, 0.12.
yeah,
Brentford had
yeah. But
first half.
it'll be interesting to compare it to games earlier this season where it might have been similar, bro, because we've said on the podcast all this time, like our pure defensive XG numbers are not that bad, especially early
Yeah,
in the season. There were games where Bournemouth at home, like we fully just nullified them throughout the whole game and they get like a last minute goal. So I think now we're almost seeing like our defensive numbers from previous games get rewarded with clean sheets.
yeah, yeah,
Like it's not really a
yeah.
surprise to me, these clean sheets. It's almost like we were due some games. And don't get me wrong, there's been games like Palace away where the defense has been really bad. But overall, I don't think it's been as bad as made out in terms of restricting chances. So,
Yeah,
bro, it's good to finally get clean sheets, man. I think it's deserved.
yeah, we know the stat and how many games first shot on target we've conceded, because really it's been restricting to big chances. But I think there's been a cut down of that, and it's not even big chances anymore. It's restricting to just chances in general, which has had these teams having really low numbers in the last four in the first half. Anyway, but moving on to second half, did you expect to make any changes, or did you stick to the game plan, continue as is?
I thought I thought changes on the pitch with like Rodgers going to the 10. I didn't think that
Yeah,
was working at all. Like Rodgers barely touched the ball. Only when he really drifted inside did he have any real impact. And I just think it's such a waste of talent, like having him like hug the touchline on the right for
yeah,
McGinn in the 10, who wasn't really providing the biggest goal threat outside of his header. I just
yeah,
thought maybe it's a tactical thing because McGinn presses in the 2 up front, and Emery was using Tillemans as the next man highest forward with Ramsey and Rodgers dropping deep. So whether it's a tactical thing that he wanted McGinn as the 10, but yeah, I wasn't feeling that at all. So I thought Rodgers might go as a 10 in the second half. And then did I expect anyone to come on? Not really. Rashford
no.
was doing okay with what he got up front.
Ramsey had Hinswood on toast a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
I felt like as always coming.
Maybe he might have took Ramsey off and put Rashford to the left and brought on Watkins. But apart from that, not really, no.
Yeah, I thought the whole Ramsey Rashford thing was working well because, as I said, Hinswood was coming inside and Rashford was getting space from that left channel and where he
Yeah.
likes to play into. So I did think that was working well. Um, yeah, the next big chances of the game was a Van Heck header from a corner, and then that leads to probably the best ball Morgan Rogers has played so far in his Villa career, and
That,
and Marcus Rashford doing what I think he's his best. I think that's his best. Getting on transition, keeping himself on side, and finishing his chances. I think that's elite Marcus Rashford play, and synonymous with him at Manchester United in his good times as well. So What a ball first, bro. What a ball. Morgan Rogers left foot, 40 to 50-yard pass straight into his path. Rashford done fantastically to keep on side. And you know what was so sick, yeah? When Rogers initially played the ball, Rashford looked over his right shoulder to try and see the ball, and he couldn't see it. But he continued his run and he slowed his pace, but continued his run. And then when he finally looked over his left, he saw the ball come across, and he was just perfectly timed the run. It was mad. And yeah, the finish, I don't know if he's meant to Ozil it, but he's put it in the back of the net, which is the main thing. So big moments, man. And as we say, game changers, big moments, players. And how many times over the years I've seen Marcus Rashford, Man United playing a game, Marcus Rashford has a big moment in that game that just gives Man United a 1-0 victory out of absolutely nothing. And he set the ball rolling for us last night.
4 touches from our box to the back of the net, bro. That is clinical as it can be. That's what Liverpool used to do to sides. And I just love this goal so much. One, because it feels good to finally score from an opposition corner rather than it happened to us. Like, we've felt that pain too many times this season. And secondly, just how clinical the goal is. Like, I love it so much. Like, Martinez in the first half, you could see how many times he wanted to throw the ball out from a corner and there was no options. And I think this was a training ground routine. Like, they'd been told that as soon as you get the ball from a corner, Brighton are going to be vulnerable on the transition. So you make sure you find a man. And yeah, as I said in the first half, Martinez was frustrated. This time he finds Rodgers, bro. And is this weak foot pass as well?
Left foot, yeah.
It's with the left weak foot, innit? And the ball's ridiculous. Big up the 2 Brighton defenders trying to blag an offside with Rashford in his own half. Like, yeah, mate, nice one, innit? Like, you're sick. And then, bro, the finish from Rashford. Are we giving him the Ozil bounce pass technique fully on purpose for this? Because I'm giving it to him. It's Rashford, and I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, he's meant this finish.
Yeah. It's one of those as well where you think Verbruggen's got a touch on it as he when it was going over, and then it goes in. Like, yeah, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt as well, of course. But what I wanted to say is I knew the transition was so quick because the fans were still oohing the Van Heck header when the ball was going into their half. That's how mad the transition was. Like, Martinez, quick gather, quick thinking, Rodgers, boom, pass, through on goal. That's clinical. That's perfect transitional play. And as you said, bro, the two goals Liverpool scored against us at Anfield, it just, it was a bit synonymous to that.
We got our look back.
Just killer transitions. Killer. So,
and then the celebration is so good. Like, I love everything about it. Where was the I was expecting it, man. Like, is that only
going to bring it back?
Can you only do that at Old Trafford? Is that what Rash is on? Like, he's like, he's sticking to
when people like put like stuff to rest when it's a new chapter in their lives and stuff like that.
It
might be one of those one. Yeah, he might have just boxed it off.
He's deleted all the pictures out the camera.
Story. Yeah,
he's deleted all the pictures out the camera. He's deleted the number. Like, this is a fresh start, and he's moved to a different country, hypothetically, and he's set up. He's living new life.
From Manny to Birmingham, different.
No, just make them.
I know. I hear you. Okay.
But what I love the most about like the celebration and that, like, you can tell, man, like, he's enjoying his football. Like, you can tell it means something. Like, it's not just any like, oh, whatever, like, I've scored. Like, that was passion, and I think like he's building that rapport with the fans as well, man. And this is what we want to see at PSG away. Like, you could even argue Emery's doing this for that game, tactically and personnel-wise as well. Has he seen Rashford as the striker that's gonna, punish him on transition, bro?
He did make interesting comments about Rashford and Watkins about how they would be, it seems like battling it out until both can play together. It seems the same comments that he made with Watkins and Giroud, along the exact same lines of they'll be battling out and we're going to try and make them both work together, which usually means it's not going to happen. So maybe that could be the case, and this is us going forward, especially with PSG coming up as well. Are we going to look to be compact and just catch him on transition?
I don't like to use the word dropped, but because I think our squad's so stacked now that it's almost just like a rotational thing where it's never that deep. Yeah. But then, like, if someone was to ask me, does Watkins start up front against Paris? Like, there's
I don't
doubt.
know.
Like I don't know if I
Yeah,
can
I don't
say
know.
yeah he does. So that's the fact that there's doubt there now means almost like has he has he lost his place for now for the short term? I think the Forest game will be very interesting to see who starts
Yeah,
up front for that,
facts.
because you'd think Forest low block, compact, you'd want Watkins to start because there's going to be no space really for Rashford to run in behind like that. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That will be interesting, and yeah, I expect Asensio and Watkins to come in for Forest. I really do. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see
Mings,
who
I
does
think
come out.
Mings comes in as well,
Yeah, Mings.
probably as
Yeah,
well
I
for
wouldn't
the
be
future.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Even, yeah, yeah, definitely. Even, I don't know,
Well, Anana maybe, maybe
potentially.
that. Them two
I was
seem
thinking.
quite.
I was thinking if more Barkley was fit, could you see a Barkley Tillman starting against the Forest just to progress, keep the
I
ball?
can't.
Nah.
No, Barkley's injury was too serious to come and start a
Yeah,
Premier
that's
League.
true. That's fair. So yeah, bro. 1-0 up. I was gonna say nothing tops Amex Limbs, does it? Maybe Emirates, maybe
Yeah,
Emirates,
yeah,
but
yeah.
Amex Slings are just giving that away end, just the
I
whole
think
end. And
you have tier one Emirates. Then I think for me personally, tier two is the Amex and Stamford Bridge if the camera's correct on Stamford
I
Bridge. Because
think,
if you score at Stamford Bridge and your players always run to that end, like
yeah,
if it
yeah.
zooms out properly, you get the upper tier and the lower tier. I think that the limbs are sick.
But I think we just had like every time you score at that end, it just looks insane. Like the Watkins that game, Grealish that game,
Danny
obviously the
Ings one was
games.
mad as well.
Danny Ings, yeah, the
Took
2-1.
Pyro onto the pitch.
Yeah, mad. The limbs are nuts in that end, and obviously when other teams play there as well, it's mad. So Brighton, you know how to set up the away fans for sure on the
You know
cameras more.
how to be good. I don't know what's the word. You know how to look after your guests, basically.
Yeah, you know how to yeah to
Good host. That's the word.
and to create the atmosphere in it, how to visually for people
Yeah,
watching at
it's
home as
cold.
well. I don't know if I'd be too happy though, as a Brighton fan seeing a whole end being given to the opposing side, but yeah, that's a different story. Anyway, Brighton need to get back in it, bro, immediately, or as immediately as possible. It's poor all around in it, and we have been very fortunate that Matoma's controlled it with around this part of his arm, because that just would have been an absolute shocking goal to concede after just getting into a good position again. And it does feel like we're just the side that do that the most. I don't want to see the stats or anything like that, but it does feel like we do that a lot, especially in Emery's tenure. There's been a lot of times where we've just conceded stupid goals. Yeah, what were your thoughts on that Matona goal? And my heart kind of half sank for a second because I thought, how have we let them back in it like 3 minutes later?
My heart sank as well because I just like Emery as well. Like he's the mistakes on him really as well. Like the way it just
Yeah,
bounces off him as well, falls to a dinger. Even the ball in behind as well. Like even allowing that to happen. So yeah, I'm just glad. And part of me thought, you know what, you owe us one, man, with the Ramsey disallowed. Well, like whether I know they're professionals, well, they claim to be professionals, these VAR guys, isn't it?
I
But
don't know. You
I
see,
just thought,
David Coote, bro. David Coote was
yeah,
this
David
season,
Cruz, yeah,
so
exactly, bro.
so yeah.
So consciously, I was just like, come on, rule this out, man. Come on, you know you owe us one as well. But I do think it was probably handball anyway. Like, but I was confused. I still thought the rules were, it's only if the player who scores handles it.
I
So
thought that.
I was shocked that it went to VAR. So maybe I need to clue up on the rules, man. Because
Yeah, same because the Joe Linton one for Newcastle. That was a big one, wasn't it, against Spurs that got allowed as well.
yeah. Like
There's been another one this season
I know
that I've.
Duran's goal versus Young Boys got disallowed for Onana, but I thought that was just Champions League rules.
Oh, okay, yeah, because yeah, it did. But yeah. I just always remember the Joe Linton one, and that was obvious. That looked more obvious than anything, and it was the goal was given, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
yeah, played in our favour. Thankfully, it did. Uh, and yeah, that was the blow we needed. That was really the blow we needed because apart from after that, you had the one João Pedro chance header, and then obviously Marco Asensio. A triple change, bro. A triple change with Asensio Watkins and Amadou Onana coming on. Good names to bring on off the bench, and it just.
Old.
I think most teams in the league seen us bring on them three names. They're like, oh shit, Villa got some
And
squad.
the fans feed into it as well. Like you hear the murmurs, man. Like that, I think that stuff plays a role as well. Like you see like 3 top players coming on the pitch, and your fans are gonna be like, "Oh, I know that name. Oh, he's good. He's good." Like, you know what I mean? Like it seeps in through the atmosphere. And yeah, I know Emery must just like be cheesing when he goes home and he just like deeps the squad that he's got now, or when he's like doing his research for like the tactics.
Yeah.
I just picture them like, I bet you like they have like mad discussions about, oh, do I go here? Oh, do I go here? What do you think? Should I just try this just because I can? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. Like, obviously, Matson gets no minutes. Garcia gets no minutes yesterday.
yeah.
Daniel Mylan gets,
Disassi 9 minutes as well.
Disassi like 9 minutes. Well, 19 actually because of the 10 extra, which I couldn't believe anyway. But yeah, the changes are made, and 12 minutes later, that man again, bro. That man again. It's lovely football for the second goal, isn't it? It's a great move. Playing the ball around with Kamara and Matty Cash. Cash puts a great ball down the line. Again, they play so high, Brighton did, and we beat the trap again, and found us. Morgan Rogers has found himself in like 30 yards of space on the right hand side. Plays the ball across, and shout out Ollie Watkins, because I don't know what break dancing he did when he was younger, yeah, but he somehow managed to MJ on his toes and get out of the way of Asensio. Pinpoint. The finish is so pinpoint. When you look at it from behind him, how he's hitting with the side of left foot inside, like the inside of his foot, the inside step. And it's so pinpoint in the side that in, and he hardly looks up. It's mad. The Asensio's sensors and like understanding of where he is on the pitch is nuts, because the way he places the ball is insane. And how Watkins jumps off, he goes like, Shabong, get stuff like that. It's mad.
And I just think I think Harsler, like he's naive, man. Like I rate that like he's ambitious with his football, but their defensive shape off the ball for guys that we have like Rodgers and Watkins, Asensio, or Rashford, I thought he was super naive, and he's taken just one really good cold ball from Cash. Rodgers in his half again, I think. Is that right? Like he was in his half, so that just shows like it wasn't like the last minute we're talking about where we just played the pass. Like this is like what, 70th, probably 60th. So
78.
Yeah. And what I love about this goal the most is Rodgers is so unselfish. He could run directly at goal and try and finesse it, but no, head up, always looking at his options. And yeah, the pass is perfect. Asensio finish. What have we said about Asensio always popping up in like these high
positioning
XG positions in the box, bro? Always centrally as well. We saw it against Cardiff. That's Chelsea. What he does, man. His intelligence to always be in the right area is cold. Like so, like, I'm realizing now, like it's not a fluke. Like he's always there.
He's lethal when he's just lethal. If he gets in those high XG positions, he more often than not he's burying it as well. It's cold. It's so cold. And I saw someone say the other day, like, sometimes I don't know what Asensio does in a game, but somehow he just bags in the goal or brace, something like that. And sometimes I think, because maybe his involvement's not required. I hear the guy's point the way I saw it, and it's because he's just a fantastic player because of his awareness. He doesn't have to be involved in the game, but when the time comes and the moment counts, he'll be in that position and he'll bury it. It's nuts.
Yeah,
decision making.
I agree. I think it's okay to say that sometimes you can drift throughout a game where he's not fully on the ball always. But that the Chelsea game, for example, I think that was the perfect example. I don't think he had the best game, but then he comes up at the end with the goals. So yeah, man, it's so sick how he always knows the position, and that's probably from being at Real Madrid, like learning things off like the most elite strikers and where to be and where to always position yourself. And
I think he's playing with Ronaldo, like Ronaldo positioning, like
Benzema,
Benzema, probably the most elite position players in the box in world football for how many 4 or 5 years. So it's mad. And then he went to like PSG.
Would have been with Mbappe
and So it's mad. It's mad. He's elite, man.
Watkins, bro. Watkins, doing Pilates or whatever he's been doing, bro.
So
Because
it was
that was,
madness. I'm telling you.
and
That's crazy.
now that he's on, because the clip is onside in the end, weren't he?
Yeah.
Probably
But I
wishing
don't know.
that.
I don't know if it would have hit him and gone. He might have just gone in for Bruggen's path, man.
Now,
Just
but
set the goal.
what I'm saying is, Watkins knowing he's offside probably wish it like flicked off him now, and it like trying to do anything to get Gabby's record.
I know, man. I know. It's. I don't know if he does it now.
Nah,
I've got confidence he does it. He does it. He
he'll
does
do
it.
it.
He
He'll
does
do
it.
it. But he'll be
He
close,
does
but
it.
he'll do it.
He'll do it. I'm not even gonna speak that into existence. Yeah, as you were saying, bro, Rodgers' assist in those positions, good decision making. I was impressed with that yesterday. That was a big thing. Sometimes people are critical of Morgan Rodgers' decision making, and I've said it a few times. Sometimes he just doesn't make the right one call. But like the Man City game with John Duran when he scored 2-on-1 as such, 3-on-2 really in essence. Right decision, right pass, goal, clinical.
Facts.
Kills the game off. This was 2-0. That's it. Game's killed off. And then we seem to play then with more freedom because we were allowed to. Moving on from that, obviously a few more changes. Disasi coming on for Matty Cash. Rogers going off injured. Hopefully nothing too much. He seemed okay going off, and Daniel Marlin coming off. And if there was a way to wrap up the game and the perfect kind of ending for the game and how you want it to finish is keep a clean sheet and then Daniel Marlin getting his first goal for Aston Villa. And again, good play from us. Seems like half the Brighton players had left the pitch like the Brighton fans had because the fans, the stands were empty. The middle of the pitch was empty when John McGinn was running with that ball. No one did well to retrieve it and then powered forward with the ball.
Do you think, just before we get onto that, do you think that was a foul from McGinn? I thought it was a foul.
It's like potentially, yeah.
Just a cheeky
I think everyone had just like clocked off, man.
Yeah, no one cared.
Foul. Yeah, I think everyone had clocked off. So
he just a cheeky one, isn't it? Just a little reminder.
McGinn little arm across. But well, with what Iari was getting away with, I think again balanced the game out. But
bro, he could still be playing now and not get a book in.
Bro, madness, insane. But McGinn travelled with the ball. I thought he was going to get caught at the one point, but managed to get the pass off to Asensio. Good pass across. Asensio again, one touch, and he played the ball so quick. He didn't even one touch, and Marlin was outside and played it quick. And that's a top finish from Daniel Marlin. That goal similar to Liverpool, where he just went wide of the post.
He likes it.
Similar position across. Yeah. I've seen him score a few goals for Dortmund where he hits it.
Yeah, I've noticed
him and Watkins, man, in training off the right in that position, they must lick some goals in that bottom corner because that's Watkins favours that position as well. So
that's a finish. That goal was so good. Like I was not expecting that to go in. Like from where he was at, he was out wide. He's got a hit across goal, minimal back lift, and bro, you could see by his celebration how much that meant to him. Like we gotta be honest. Here's a guy that's been brought in January. He's had to see Rashford and Asensio get most of the plaudits. He's been kicked out of the Champions League squad, so he doesn't play there. Ill for the Cardiff game where he probably would have started as well. Had to be patient, man. Didn't start against Preston, and to come on and finally score your first Premier League goal for Villa, bro. Look at the passion in the celebration. Notice how every player, like Kamara, came up to him, gave him a massive hug. And Nana, Rodgers was all happy for him. So he must have been going through it. I think personally, just assuming from like the reaction to his goals. Yeah, happy for him, man.
Supportive and it's what's needed in this campaign, man, because now we're looking strong. I can't lie. We're looking strong. Yeah, we're looking strong, man, and it's good to see. The results are matching, the squad coming back, and the performances and such. And we go into a huge, obviously again now with that City tie being moved. PSG over 2 legs, Forest, Southampton as well. This is
it,
big, Newcastle as well. This is big time football now. This is huge, and bro, this could be something special. This really could be something special, man. I'm going to keep speaking it into existence. That you dare to dream, as the Spurs, let's say, and I think we can apply that now because this is a position I've not seen us in. This is a position you've not seen us in. This position many fans have not seen us in either. So why not? Why not dream of a cup double, one cup, or and Champions League? Keep believing, man, because the squad is there, and you look at the squad on paper and you think, okay, this is a serious, serious squad in terms of other Premier League squads that we were against.
Yeah, facts, bro. I agree. And then we go to Nottingham Forest this Sunday or Saturday. Sorry, this might be like one of the most interesting games of the season. Like two teams buzzing off of qualifying for the semi-final of the FA Cup, winning and winning and winning games of football. Yeah, I'm interested in this game. I like. We're going to do a preview as well, but seeing Ale Aina might miss the game, Moreno can't play. Who they play at right back or full back, either side will be interesting to see. So yeah, bro, we'll obviously get into that on the next pod or whatever. But
I think they're saying Harry Tuffler, and I remember Harry Tuffler had an absolute game of his life against us
he's still there
at the City Ground last year. Yeah, remember last year he came in, I think, last year against us, and he had the game of his life. He got man of the match, and he might have 2 assists, even though those goals are, the Mangala goal and I can't remember the first one. They were a bit dodgy, weren't they? But yeah, I think it'll be that or Cho will play off left wing back, and they'll play with the 3 Morata coming in. A few more comments. Adam's joined. He said, yes, lads, thanks for joining, Adam, and thanks for watching. I will also, thanks for joining. The Pal kicked the ball out of Emmy's hands. I think that's in reference to the goal.
Yeah, same mistake. Yeah. First.
Also, Kevin's joined. Thanks for joining, Kevin, and watching. He goes, hi, guys, we're winning the lot. That's it, Kevin. I'm with you on that one. And also, Ken, thank you for the donation. Really appreciate it. Anyway, bro, I think that's it. We'll tie that one. Finish this one off. Anything else you want to bring up? Shout out?
Yeah, just who did you think was your man of the match for the game?
Oh, Boubacar Kamara.
I
might just give it Kamara every game, to be honest.
Save us half the time.
Yeah, it's the same myself the time and the energy, because special player, man, special player. Talk some Boubacar Kamara new bumper contract as well. How are you feeling about that?
They're giving him the keys to the city, and it from what these French newspapers are saying.
Yeah. They're giving him what the Mav should have given Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
That's Supermax, man, and fully deserved. I feel like he's an outstanding player, and I think he'll be in that French World Cup squad, all being well with us, and continue to play and being fit and available. Seeing rumours Morgan Rogers, there's a lot of interest. David Ornstein saying there's a lot of suitors in looking at him, some big clubs.
Oh, I hadn't even seen that, to be fair.
Yeah, I think that just comes with the nature of being a top talent.
Yeah, this is why FA Cup has to be won, man. Like, no excuses. I seen Newcastle beat Liverpool at Wembley, and like, no excuses, Villa. Like, let's win this. Man. Let's win this cup. Do you know what I mean? Like, with all the players that we've got right now, let's just end it. Let's just take. What do you mean you don't know, bro? You were believing.
No, I said yeah, I know. No, I don't know. I was just thinking, like, let me just see 2 wins in a row at Wembley. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just 2 wins in a row, and that's it. We'll be FA Cup winners. Oh man, yeah. Come on, Villa, man. Come on. Anyway, bro, anything else?
No, that's all.
All right, bless as always. Appreciate coming on and yeah, just chopping that one up. As always, guys, if you could again, any new watchers, if you could subscribe, appreciate it. We're trying to get to 1,000, so yeah, really appreciate that. Thanks for joining Credo's. Good evening, guys. Sorry, missed the stream when he just got in. Hit the like, everyone. Appreciate that. Really appreciate.
What is it? We're 942 subscribers. So what's that? 58. Quick maths.
Yeah, 58. 58, man.
Let any Villa fan that you know, if they'd be interested in the pod, even if they're not, man, just tell them to subscribe.
Tell them to subscribe and get us.
We'll try and convince them eventually. But, yeah, man. Just we love making these videos for you and the content. So, and this is the best time I've ever had as a Villa fan. So it's enjoyable as well, super enjoyable. Just reacting to these matches, man.
Facts. Anyway, appreciate you all, and see you on the next one. Up the Villa.